My video for February the 29th, 2020 is number 3,381. The title is, Oh, the Irony. I get some of the updates by Chuck Baldwin from time to time. He's an interesting preacher who does not go along with the status quo, sort of out there as I am. Anyway, this was from a recent post of his, quote, "Consider the irony of this. Michael Bloomberg is a New York billionaire, Republican, running as a Democrat against Donald Trump, a New York billionaire, Democrat, running as a Republican. You just can't make this stuff up," end quote. Of course, in the deep state, party affiliation means absolutely nothing at all. Their game plan is what it has long been: control and fleece the people. Truth is anathema to these charlatans. Love? Forget it. They don't know the meaning of the word. Everything is permitted. There are no rules other than winning. It's all a game to these people. I hesitate, wondering if they are really human beings. It's hard for me to imagine real humans that lack empathy and compassion. We live in a strange world where everything seems inverted, especially the political circus. I was supposed to be recording a video with my friend Aristo today, and of course he's in Greece, and I wanted to get an update on his perspective, and he's married to a lady from another, I don't know if I'm assuming they're married, probably are, from another European country. So I was hoping to get a bit of a European perspective of what's happening in Greece and what their perspective is on the riots that are taking place in France and other places, and of course Brexit, leaving the European Union, where it seems like the deep state's plan may be falling apart, of consolidating all the nations under one umbrella and a new world order, as George Bush often referred to it. And I chuckle because most Christians and religious people, especially Christians, are in the Trump camp, and they don't see the charade that may be going on. Now, I say may be going on because the drama of the whole thing is pretty interesting. I mean, Hillary fully expected to get elected. I mean, the fix was in. If it was up to California and New York and some of the more populated states, Illinois, I'm pretty sure is part of that. I don't remember all which states went for Hillary, but the most populous ones generally did. I don't know about Texas. And Florida, I think Florida did go for Trump. I'm not sure. But in any case, it's a circus. The political thing is a circus, folks. When are we going to understand this? I think Chuck Baldwin gets it. Now, I do not agree with some of his biblical perspective that Christians are the only ones going to heaven, the only ones that are worthy of salvation. As I've said in many videos, I have friends that are Buddhists and Hindus and Jews, and I've even had some Muslim friends, although it's hard to build a strong relationship with the Muslims. They do seem to be more out there. Although when I had my meetings in my home, as I've said, I had the Muslim imam come a few times, and even a couple of the Muslim women one time wearing their veils and everything else that is the Muslim practice. And I am not anti any religion, but in a sense, I'm against all religion, because what it does is builds barriers. It prevents people from loving. And that's part of the game plan too. They have infiltrated all aspects of all religions, with rare exceptions. And there are rare exceptions, Chuck Baldwin being one of the exceptions. And yet he holds to the idea that if you're not a Christian, you're going to hell, period. That's how I was raised too, in the Assemblies of God. So I understand the viewpoint. And I hope and pray, and I use the word pray loosely, because I'm not sure anymore when I have to pray for God to be responsible, when it seems as if God is not only irresponsible, but deaf and dumb, incapable of communicating clearly, and incapable of making positive changes on the behalf of humanity. And we were supposed to be created in his image, God's image, male and female, created he them. I have lots of questions. And it is ironic that someone that was raised as I was raised has managed in 73 years to get to the place where I am now, struggling to make sense out of what we call reality. But it's not real. It can't be real, can it? I don't know the answer to that. Again, everything seems inverted. And many that look like people, look like human beings, act like demons. They act like those that do not care what happens to most people. Now, I've watched Donald Trump open doors, which he said he doesn't usually do, and actually take people to their room in a hotel, probably somewhere here in Florida, but I'm not sure of that. But I watched a video that was sent to me recently by the Donald, and he's certainly putting on a good act in many respects. But the whole thing, again, is political circus. He has surrounded himself with a bunch of people that, in my opinion, including Pence, the vice president, that are questionable. But I question everything nowadays. I don't know what is real anymore. I'm sure that it's not very loving. I'm sure that there's a lot of deception, simply because two completely opposite stories can't both be true. And that means there's deception somewhere, and it's probably on both sides. There is no pure, truthful side. There are no pure, loving human beings, because we've all been messed with at the level of our soul and spirit, and we just simply struggle, trying very hard in many cases to get out of this quagmire and to be free, to become real, to become fully human and fully divine at the same time. Will that happen in my lifetime? I certainly hope so. I live for that. It's why I do what I do, and I'm doing the best that I can. And I hope that the friends that are still with me stay with me and uplift me as best you can with your prayers. Anyway, that's about all I can think to say at this time. And I hope Aristo is okay. Thank you, folks, for listening, and